Oh, I totally believe I can put 10 pounds in a 5-pound bag. Like really, Sarah, like I can get to the store, like I have a break in my day, an hour break. I can get to the store, which is 10 miles away, Costco, mind you, shop, put things in my bag, and then literally check out, which you never know what it's gonna be like, unload in my car, unload at the house, and get back to the office. In my mind, I really think I can do all that.
And how much time do you need to do that?
Oh yeah, just an hour.
Just 1 hour, you can do all that. Okay.
1 hour
Has that worked out for you?
Never. No, it never works out, and I'm not lying. I have left 2 full carts in Costco because I get to the checkout line and I look at it, and I look at the line, and I'm like, there's no way on God's green earth that I can actually get this done. And then I'm so upset. And then I feel guilty because I'm like, I'm sorry, I've got to leave this whole, I want you to know there's cold stuff and you need to put it on.
Go put all these things away from me because I have time blindness.
Because I have time blindness, and that is such a big deal. Time blindness, rejection sensitivity, and executive functioning. All beautiful things, and the 3 most common pitfalls with ADHD.
Okay, so we're talking about ADHD.
Yes.
I love it. I've got 3 ADHD people in my house, and I would love to share my perspective as a non-ADHDer on what that looks like.
Who has people in their home who they love and works with someone they love.
Okay.
You are strong.
Am I?
You gotta be strong to have ADHD people in your life because our brains on a race car is a race car.
Oh, race cars. That's a whole nother topic.
That's a whole nother topic. Glad you're here.
Yep, tune in, guys.
Thanks for joining us on This Might Be Triggering, a mental health podcast because avoiding your problems is so last season.
Join us for honest talk, relatable stories, and real tools for emotional wellness and relationships. It's not therapy, but it is therapeutic, with insight, humor, and something useful in every episode.
Sarah, so the other day I am at the grocery store and I'm going to cook for Sean because, as you know, he really loves acts of service is one of his love languages.
Okay.
So I'm going to cook this meal. So I've gone to the store and I've got every ingredient, which is already hard for me to do anyway. It's just my daughter cooks well, not me. I've got a cart full of groceries. I go through the checkout, there's 2 people behind me, and I'm getting ready to pay, and there's no credit card in my wallet.
This reminds me of a very familiar story.
Does it?
It does.
What story?
When we went to EMDR training, I don't know if you remember this.
Oh, I totally.
It was early in our friendship. We were going to EMDR training, and we stopped by a store to get some purse snacks. If you don't know about purse snacks, tune into the shooting episode.
Yes.
And you turned to me and said, I don't have my wallet. And I was happy to cover it, happy to do it.
I was so
But
mortified.
you were embarrassed.
I was. I was so embarrassed. And then I remember I called home. And I was like, boys, can you please see if I left my
I remember this phone call
early.
too. Yes.
We left early because we were driving to Austin from Houston. We were doing our training. And then I ended up finding it in the console of the car.
You did end up finding it. So that sounds like this is like a frequent occurrence for you.
This is a frequent occurrence for me. And here's the thing. I have ADHD.
Okay.
And this is part of it. There's time blindness. Rejection sensitivity, which is very big, and also executive functioning. So literally thinking, our brain works so fast. So ADHD, your brain is different. It works different. The prefrontal cortex, the dopamine system, they all work different, and we're going to dive into that today. It's a big, big deal.
I'm excited to hear about it. You know, one interesting thing is that ADHD is a type of neurodiversity, and a lot of clients are shocked when I tell them that.
I love that you tell them that, in fact, because it is.
Well, people always think of autism, being on the spectrum, like, oh, you know, OCD, that's neurodiversity, but ADHD is too. And I think that it allows them to give themselves some grace.
Absolutely. And it also allows people to advocate for themselves. And this is a really important topic because I was diagnosed as an adult because our twin boys have ADHD. And so when I was reading about it and learning about it and researching about it, and we were going through all the counselors, actually that's why I became a counselor, I learned about it. And interestingly enough, 70 to 80% of families, it runs through genetically. So if your parents have ADD, you've got a 70 to 80% chance of getting ADHD.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating.
In my home, my husband has ADHD, and my son has ADHD, and then my first daughter, I've got 2 daughters. So, yeah, I can see. So it's all his fault, is what you're telling me.
No, I believe, and it's true, ADHD can be a superpower.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
It can be
a
superpower. It can also really impact relationships. The relationship we have with ourselves and the relationship we have with other people. So it's important to know it and understand it. And so today we're talking about what is ADHD.
Okay.
The 3 biggest pitfalls for people who have ADHD.
Time blindness, executive functioning,
rejection,
sensitivity. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
So,
and we're doing it in our new studio.
We are doing it in our new studio.
Yeah, things are looking different.
We're
I hope
having
you guys
fun.
like it.
It's very comfy, and we got like space.
Yeah,
it's so cool.
It is nice.
It's very cool.
It is.
So let's go back to that story because it really outlines.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Which of those 3 pitfalls is happening when you're forgetting your credit card? The executive functioning?
Yeah, mostly.
Or does it fall into time blindness because you're trying to rush?
A little bit, I think. Mostly executive functioning.
Okay.
So, for example, for me personally, my credit card has to stay in my wallet, right? So this is a system. So this has to do with executive functioning.
Okay.
And one of the things we'll talk about with these 3 things, rejection sensitivity, time blindness, and executive functioning, is really finding outside sources that help and work, whether that's calendars, whether that's apps, whether it's an executive functioning coach, which they have, which is awesome, whether it's tools, tricks. So one system that we put in place, and it wasn't until I was older, is I don't put my credit card in my pocket anymore.
You used to put your credit card in your pocket?
Oh, yes. I used to put my credit card in my pocket. I used to put it in my vest or wherever, and I'd go in to use it to the store because I didn't want to take my purse or something like that.
Okay.
I'd go in to use it, and then I wouldn't put it up, and I'd lose it. It would drive my husband crazy. It would drive Sean crazy. And Sean's an engineer, does not have ADHD at all. And so he didn't understand it. And he really felt like it was not a personal attack. That's not the right word. But like I didn't care enough about him. I didn't care enough about our finances. And that was just not the case.
Yeah.
Not the case at all.
There is a challenge for sure for partners that have someone that are married to someone who has ADHD, because it's hard to separate. You feel like it's a personal attack on you when they're forgetting things and, hey, make sure you pick me up, because our car's in the shop today, and they forget you, and then you're thinking, you don't love me. You forgot to pick me up, and it has nothing to do with that.
That is so true. Oftentimes they feel like they're not important, and that's not it. It's the neurodiversity in the ADHD brain that is just all over the place.
Okay.
One thing that also happens is rejection sensitivity, and I'm talking about the adult side. We're also going to talk about the parenting side.
Okay.
So with younger kids, with teenagers, and young adult.
Okay.
Right? So with the rejection sensitivity, for people who have ADHD, the highs are really high. So when they're really excited, they're really excited. And the lows are really low.
It sounds like another diagnosis that I hear about often, bipolar.
Yeah.
Highs are really high, lows are really low. 2 very different situations, bipolar versus ADHD.
That's a great point. A lot of times people are misdiagnosed, and ADHD is not part of their diagnoses, and it's very important to learn about it and know about it, because that rejection sensitivity for ADHD people, when they feel criticized, whereas you might feel like, okay, I'm a little criticized, they're all the way down, right? So they just feel it bigger. Their brain works differently, and they feel it bigger. And I want to read this because I want to make sure I get it right. So the neuroscience behind, actually, wait, I am getting ahead of myself. Olivia, give us the definition. We love Olivia. She's behind the scenes.
Yeah.
She's making it all work. Give us the DSM-5 definition, Olivia, if you don't mind.
So the DSM-5 definition for ADHD is a neurodevelopmental disorder characterized by a persistent pattern of inattention and/or hyperactivity, impulsivity that interferes with functioning or development.
And then some. I feel like there's many more layers to it.
There's a lot of layers to it. Here's two things that I think
But that's a good foundation. Thanks, Olivia. That's great.
we love you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Olivia.
Thank you, Olivia.
Thank you, Olivia. Here's something about the neuroscience that I really want to point out. And you're going to love this because we love talking about the amygdala part of our brain.
I love neuroscience stuff. I'm all about it.
I love it. Me too.
I want to get my PhD in neuroscience, and then I looked at how much school it was, and I said, well, I'm not going to do that. It'll be a hobby.
I love it. We'll just keep working with our clients so we
Yeah.
don't have to take time.
I know.
Go back
That's a
to
whole
school
nother
again.
topic.
That's a whole nother topic.
Wanting a PhD. What's wrong with me? Anyways, moving on.
Education's a good thing. Moving on. So here's two things I want our listeners to know. ADHD, your prefrontal cortex is impacted and your dopamine system. So wait for it. Prefrontal cortex is in charge of planning, focus, and self-control.
The executive functioning.
It's the executive functioning part. And then think about this. Your dopamine system is also impacted by ADHD.
And dopamine is a motivating chemical, makes you motivated.
It does. So the dopamine system impacts motivation, time perception, and reward.
There you go.
So it really brings to life, if you think about it, prefrontal cortex, planning, focus, self-control, dopamine system, motivation, time perception, and reward. So if you think about rejection sensitivity for ADHD people, when they're happy, they are super happy, like big time. And sometimes that can be annoying for people. And then when they have perceived criticism, or actually criticism, but for them, it's not just constructive feedback. It is definitely an insult.
Yeah.
Right? It is really, really upsetting. And the research will show adults, ADHD adults, often change jobs more, change relationships more, and that really fits into that rejection sensitivity.
Yeah.
Because their job is going great and it's wonderful and everything's up here. They get some feedback.
Yeah. Have a bad day, bad feedback. I'm out.
All the way down, it's like, oh no, this must be the wrong job.
Yeah.
If I had a different job, it would be better.
In relationships too, I can see that. Because there's criticism in relationships, there's problems in relationships. There should be problems in a relationship. It's two people coming from two different worlds and they may not align with everything. But yeah, you could feel rejected and be like, I'm done, moving on to the next.
Right, wrong person.
Yeah.
This is
Which
tough.
some of those things is like a borderline personality disorder. I've heard people being diagnosed with that and they're like, I don't really quite fit it. And those are the things that are happening with them. And so interesting how...
It's fascinating. I
Yeah.
think it's so important to really understand the impacts of ADHD because oftentimes people don't know, and then this
they're misdiagnosed, it sounds like, in a lot of cases.
misdiagnosed. Then alcohol and drugs can be a factor because you want to, have those feelings change, right? So alcohol can make it feel better.
Yeah.
Right? Or marijuana, oh, I just need to relax. And if you don't understand the impacts of ADHD and what to do about it, you can get misdiagnosed. You can think you're in the wrong relationship or the wrong job, or thinking drugs and alcohol are going to solve this, and
Yeah.
it just doesn't. And it is a superpower. Often ADHD people can do anything. Like, think about Ron.
Yeah. His hyper focus. Well, I think about all three of my people who
Yeah.
have ADHD, and their ability to hyper focus on something and just kind of become an expert is super impressive.
Yes.
But the flip side is it's an obsession of sorts that nothing else really exists. So I can see how it's a superpower, but it also has its not so great results from it.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to read this because I wrote this for today, why it matters.
Okay.
Living with ADHD can feel confusing and isolating for ourselves and for those we love. School is harder. People don't always understand. And self-comparison can chip away at our confidence. And the truth is, we're not broken. I have ADHD. We're not broken. We need to understand we're not alone. Our brain simply works differently, and that difference can be a superpower if understood, embraced, and put to work.
I love that.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think it's important.
I think it is important. And there's even a flip side to it too, where people almost like brush off ADHD like it's not that big of a deal. Like, oh, it's just kids are supposed to be wiggly. They have ADHD. It just means they just can't sit still. But it's much more than that.
It is much more than that. And I often get people saying, because I didn't know this, but if you're a pilot, you can't take medication for ADHD, or at least that's what was told to me.
Okay.
So if that's the case,
maybe Olivia can fact check.
ooh, will you fact
I'm
check
on
for
it.
me?
Yeah.
Thank you, Olivia.
Wait, what is it? Pilots can't take.
ADHD medication. Check it out. Maybe it's because it's a stimulant. I don't know. I could be wrong. Let me just say that I could be wrong. No need to message me that I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
Right now, let's pretend it's right. And then Olivia will tell us if we're wrong.
Let's pretend that it's right. But I do get this comment a lot. So in the office, I don't think I said this, but I ask people if they have ADD, because it's so important to know, and I really want.
Is this when you're seeing couples or individuals, or all across the board?
Across the board.
Okay.
Across the board. Like in my intake, in my first session, we're talking about limits of confidentiality and all of that. I ask them, is there any neurodiversity? And then often they go, look, what's that? And so I go through these things just to ask. And sometimes they'll say, oh, well, when I was younger, and I'm like, this is good to know. This can help us as we're going through counseling, especially if they've come in because they're really upset about something, and then I remind them about rejection sensitivity. So it's super valuable. The point I wanted to make, that I've gotten off track, is that people, when we talk about ADHD, they'll be like, yeah, but I don't want to take medication. I'm like, well, that's fine.
I hear that too.
That's fine. I'm like, that's your choice. That's your choice that you make with your medical doctor or psychiatrist. What I want you to know as your counselor is that it's very important to understand the impacts. Whether you take medication or not, there are things that you can do to help with rejection sensitivity, with time blindness, and with executive functioning that have nothing to do with medication. Now, medication can help. If you have the right medication, you have a doctor that you can work with. If you're someone who is like, I don't want to take medication, I've even heard people say, well, I need this for my job. And I'm like, great.
They need the ADHD superpower.
They need the ADHD
to be on, not numbed.
Yes.
Or I mean, I don't know. I don't have ADHD. So do you take medication for ADHD? Are you okay sharing if you do or do not?
Yes, I do not mind sharing. I sometimes take ADHD medication.
Is it sometimes because you forget to take it?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Wah, wah, wah.
No, seriously though.
I actually, you know what? That's a great point. Full self-disclosure. I bought this thing off a pill organizer that has the days of the week and morning.
We have to remember
night.
to fill it, because my daughter has a pill organizer and she forgets to fill it.
You have to remember to fill it.
Yeah.
And then you have to remember to take it with you.
Yeah.
And I take Synthroid for my thyroid, and you can't take other medications around that. So that's a great question, right?
Okay.
Do I sometimes take it because I've just forgotten to take it? Happens regularly.
Okay.
And then other times I won't take it on the weekend. When I take the medication, does it help me focus? Yes. It's only part of it, though.
Okay.
I have got to use my systems to make it work. I've got to schedule myself. I've got to structure myself. I've got to use outside tools, whether it's apps, whether it's how, the scheduling that works for me, whether it's saying, no, do not leave the office until you get your notes done.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. Maybe at the end we can put some of the app recommendations that you have for ADHD folks.
Absolutely.
That would be very helpful.
Yes, my favorite website is attitudemag.com.
Okay.
It's fabulous.
We'll put a link somewhere. Oh, Olivia, we asked you a question.
Olivia's got
So I looked it
What
up.
was the question?
Can pilots take ADHD medication?
That's the question.
It says those who take ADHD medications must stop taking them to obtain a pilot's license and or fly a plane. So it's true.
Wow. So I guess
You were right.
Wow. So I guess if you have ADHD, can you not be a pilot?
I think you just can't take the medication.
Which is a little
Interesting. You
worrisome
can
for
have
someone who has flight anxiety. So we're just gonna continue
Well, you know what?
on. Do not think about that too
If
much.
you have any inside intel, just DM us in our
I would
Instagram.
love, if there is a pilot with ADHD to like share some things, how they're managing that, because
Absolutely.
not being medicated for that while you're running a plane could be
Yeah.
something.
Well, it definitely sounds like they've got. I know it's very, very hard to be a pilot,
Yes, you have to be very
Very, very
smart.
hard
You've
to
got to
be
be
a
very
pilot.
good at what you do to
and
be
they
a pilot.
check everything.
They do, and
check
I will
everything.
say, when I think about like Ron being a pilot, he would be the best pilot because he would be super focused.
Hyper-focused.
Whenever there is a crisis, he is locked in.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's the ADHD or just him being a good man of the house, but
Hyperfocusing is a thing.
yeah.
And again, it goes back to that dopamine system, right? And the prefrontal cortex, because time disappears. So they hyperfocus into, or we hyperfocus into something, and time disappears. For me, I start working, and then Sean will have to call me. And now we're so much better about it. When we've been married, yesterday was 27 years.
Congratulations! That's a big deal.
It's a great deal, and I love it. I love healthy relationships and adore him. And he totally owns it now. Instead of getting angry with me because I would be late all the time, he would pad in extra time. He would manage that.
Would he lie to you about the leave time?
He used to.
Yeah,
He
I've tried
used
that.
to.
I tried that.
Yep. He used to, and that wasn't working out so well.
Not great success on my end.
And so now.
Because then they're smart.
They are.
Or you're smart. Well,
smart.
my husband's smart. You catch on.
smart.
What time's the real leave time? Or he's like, oh, you know what? Typically you tell me 20 minutes before, so I know I've got 20 minutes. It's like, oh, dang it.
Yeah, funny thing, I used to change my clock so they were 5 minutes fast all the time. I had to stop doing that. I've gotten much better as a counselor and working with people who have ADHD. And so commonality, I can relate to them, and then I can also share real world what works and what doesn't work. And
Yeah.
it's very important to have people in your life who love you, who are willing to learn about it and willing to support you without criticism.
Yeah.
That's very, very important to own it. And I'm also a parent. Jake and John are 25 now. When they were younger, God bless them, because I really tried to shove them in that box to be like other kids. When they needed activity, they needed to run. And now looking
So
back,
John and Jake have ADHD.
John and Jake both have ADHD.
What box did you want to shove them into? The non-ADHD box?
Oh, so bad. And we lived international, and I don't know if people know this. It might have changed, Olivia. I don't think it has, if you want to fact check me. We lived in Abu Dhabi, and when you live international, they do not have to educate you. Like here in the United States, if you have ADD or speech delay or anything like that, you're going to get educated
Yeah.
in public school.
Yeah, they have accommodations.
They do have accommodations. They have IEPs, which are very important.
Yes, 504 plan. They've got a few different options.
All of that.
So they don't have that internationally.
They don't have it internationally. Singapore, great place to take kids
Okay.
on assignment if they have ADHD or other learning differences.
Okay.
Any other place, no. So when we were over there, I was trying to hide it and actually chase.
So wait, they would have said, we can't teach you,
Absolutely.
and you're just SOL.
Absolutely.
Figure it out for your kiddos.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
It was
you were
very
hiding
tough.
it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no wonder you
yes,
tried to
trying
fit
to
them in
hide
a
it.
non-ADHD box.
Yes. And they got into one of the schools there for a year, and Jake forgot his lunch money, and I'm not kidding. The teacher did not feed him that day.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Because she was going to teach him a lesson.
Uh-huh.
That's not how you teach kids a lesson.
That's not how you teach kids a lesson.
No.
Yeah, that's another this might be triggering episode.
That's another, this might be triggering episode.
Yeah. because that may be triggering for some to hear.
Yeah, it was triggering. And that was a long time ago, and he's just fine now. He's gotten over it. We're just fine.
Does he talk about it, though? Is it like one of the pivotal points for him?
He was in kindergarten, so he doesn't really totally remember.
Okay, so maybe it just traumatized you.
Yeah, exactly. It was triggering for me. That's a whole nother episode.
That's a whole nother episode.
Neurodiversity, embracing neurodiversity is really important as an adult and as a parent if you have a child. And I want you to think about this. The brain works differently. The prefrontal cortex works differently. The dopamine system works differently. If you had someone who had a concussion, their brain's impacted, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to be mad at them if they don't get something.
Right.
People with ADHD, it's not a concussion, but their brain does work differently. And embracing that, understanding that, being compassionate about that makes the world a better place, makes relationships a better place.
Yeah. Well, and I think knowledge is power. So
Amen.
If you have a loved one in your family that has ADHD and you feel like they've almost used it as a crutch or something, maybe listening to this will help you be a little bit more compassionate and empathetic towards them.
I think so.
Yeah.
We hope so. And one thing about the executive functioning, I want to point this out too. ADHD people struggle with working memory, organization, task initiation, and it is often misinterpreted as laziness. And it's not laziness. They literally can't start a project if everything is not perfect.
Yeah, I've heard it called ADHD paralysis.
That's exactly what it is. Everything has got to be laid out. And then once they start working, sometimes they can hyper-focus.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think for them too, it's like, I'm so overwhelmed and I can't get my thoughts organized or my to-dos organized. I'm just going to do nothing.
Yes.
I just can't. It's too much for me.
Yeah.
But then there is the shame of doing nothing and
All of that.
yeah.
And how it shows up, let's talk a little bit about how it shows up with kids.
Okay.
Because we've talked a lot about adults.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how it shows up with kids.
Yeah, how does it show up with kids?
Well, one, as a parent who has children with ADHD when they were younger, and I'd always, comparison is always an issue.
Yeah.
When you have this situation, it's like, oh, my kids come home and they sit down and do their homework. You just need to schedule it. And I'd always get this great parenting advice from other parents, right? Oh, you know what? Just, you need to not enable them and you need to not do this. And I'm like, thank you for sharing, because that's just shame-inducing, right? And I'm like, my kid never
Thank you
comes
for
home.
sharing the way you said that.
Thank you. I got good at that. I'm like, oh, thank you so much for that insight.
Okay.
They never came home and just sat down and did homework.
No, what did your house look like when they came home?
No, I mean, they were, first of all, they were exhausted because they're keeping it together
Yes.
all day long.
Keeping
Their
it buttoned
brain-
up.
Yes, and they did have IEP, and they've given me permission to share all of this because they support people understanding this, and they support parents understanding this. Some parents would say, oh, I don't want my kid to be labeled. I had this great friend say, get all the labels that you need because you want all the services. So shortened assignments, a testing room where they have less distractions. And that's hard for kids to do because they're embarrassed to walk out of that room.
They are.
They're
Yeah.
embarrassed to have that teacher or assistant teacher in the room trying to redirect them. So it's really
Kids don't want to
hard
feel
on them.
different, right?
No.
And being pulled out of the room makes you a little different. And there are the outliers, of course. There's some kids who are like, I love getting pulled out. Like, I love that attention. But more often than not, they're like, I don't want to get pulled out. I don't want people to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So having that system after school, if you can afford to have, if you've got a junior high student or elementary school student, hire like a babysitter, but not really a babysitter, someone to help them do their schoolwork together.
Like a tutor.
Like a tutor.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's almost an executive function. Okay, let's get out your agenda, let's do this. But it takes it off of you so it doesn't really hurt your relationship with them. That's one of the best things that I did. And also, get the IEPs, get the 504, get the shortened assignments. I often hear people say, oh, well, they're not going to be able to have that in real life. I'm like, well, let's get them through school first.
Yeah, let's get them through school first. I think if parents have issues with the labels, that is the parent problem.
Good insight.
I think that what's wrong with your kid having a label at school? What's wrong with your kid having help? Let's set them up for success.
Let's set them up for success.
Yeah, life has enough adversity. Just set them up for success at school. They'll still have struggles, but at least the teachers know. Because if the teachers don't know what's going on, because if they have an IEP or a 504 or these different things in place, the teachers get that information and they almost have like a cheat sheet on how to help your kid. And it's just such a great thing for the kids.
Because they need the support. Let's get them through school. We'll practice those executive functioning strategies and help them be successful in life. I think the first place it starts is knowing about ADHD, educating yourself if you're an adult, educating yourself if you're a parent, really understanding time blindness, rejection sensitivity, and executive functioning.
So when your kids were young, they would come home, they'd be exhausted from keeping it buttoned up. And then you would have a tutor come in and kind of help them and it was like after a while, like, okay, let's eat dinner. And then the tutor would come, I don't know, 6:30 to 7 or something like that. Is that kind of what it looked like? Because, some parents are out there curious to what worked for you.
Right. It depends if you're a working parent and you're at home after school.
Yeah.
Some students, especially if they're doing after school care, get the homework done then. Ask them to get the homework done then, wherever they are. That's a beautiful thing. Try to keep all of that at school and away from home. If you are at home when they get home, give them a break. Do something that moves. A lot of people want to sit down in front of the TV or play video games.
Hand them their device.
They want to hand them.
Well, and the device is an instant dopamine hit. Dopamine. And if this is affecting their dopamine production or how it's being distributed in the brain, terrible idea to let them sit on their device, even if they want to.
That's right.
Have them do something else.
Yes, and when they're on their device, they are getting that dopamine hit, so they're so calm. And the parents are like, oh, I can do something for a minute. And I get it.
I get it too.
When you need to do something, you've got to do that. That's why I say, really, you've got to structure your day so that you have time for that. Take all of the tools that you can get from the school, whether you're at a public school, where also, you may not know this, but you can go to your local public school and let them know you do need to be evaluated.
Yes, if parents do not know this, as young as 3, at least in Katy ISD, and I imagine it's going to be the same across the board, at least in Texas, I would imagine. As young as 3, you can have your kid evaluated to see if you have any suspicions. They'll evaluate and see if there's anything that may need some assistance, and you can get some help for your kiddo.
And you can get help before they start school, and that really is vital and the key.
Yeah.
If you've got language delay, if you've got speech delay, if you've got fine motor skill delay, you want to find those
even
things.
Suspecting ADHD.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, the sooner they can get tools, the more proactive you are, the better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you're going to a private school, ask them. Be curious about it. Just find out.
Yeah.
Find out. So let's talk about what we can do about it.
Yeah. What can we do about it?
All right. So for rejection sensitivity, as an adult, you want to respond and not react. Do everything you can. There's all kinds of strategy. Box breathing, in for 4.
Like the parents do the box breathing?
So as an adult, parents need to do it when their kids are really upset.
Okay.
Because as a parent, if you interact with that upset, first of all, our amygdala is way online, which we talk about in other episodes, and then you're interacting with that upset. So you definitely want to breathe as a parent. Sometimes if your kid is really going at it, it's going to be very hard to have them breathe. So you want to have sensory things in the home.
Okay.
Right? Kinetic sand, some of the Mr. Playwell, I'm sitting here doing this. I'm sitting here squeezing my hands. The stuff that's going to give them input into their body.
Okay. So this is if the kiddos are having rejection sensitivity. Teach them box breathing, give them things to calm them down. And you as a parent too need to calm down.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Parent use the box breathing.
Okay,
If the
okay.
kid's experiencing rejection sensitivity and they're really high or they're really low, their nervous system is on overdrive. It could be very hard for them to breathe. So
Yeah.
what we want to do is we want to go outside. We want to get on a swing. We want to redirect. We want to use any type of sensory tools, kinetic sand, something like that.
Yeah.
You can blow bubbles, which helps kids
Yeah.
breathe big.
Yeah.
The
Blow
biggest
out
thing.
candles.
I love it.
Let's blow out 5 candles. Yeah.
Yeah, that could help. I love that.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. So all of those things.
Okay.
So that's just a little bit. Also grounding the senses. 5 things I can see.
Oh, yes.
4 things I can touch.
Yes.
3 things I can hear.
2 things.
2 things I can smell. 1 thing I can taste.
Yes. And the reason why grounding is important, some people may not know this, is because a lot of the times when our amygdala is lit up, our threat detection system, our emotions are big, we can feel like just in those emotions and you don't really feel like you're here. So these grounding techniques allow your brain to slow down. It calms the amygdala down. Prefrontal cortex is able to kind of come more into play, and you're able to focus on where you are right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal. So grounding techniques are great for that.
Yeah. And then being able to reframe and ask questions. So this phrase, I'm curious about, or I wonder,
Yeah.
right, and that redirection to move into a different place when we're experiencing rejection sensitivity. When we're really, really happy, notice the room, read the room.
Yeah.
Right? Or we're really, really low. We need to protect ourselves. Sometimes if you're really, really low, you might need to take a break. You might need to say, hey, you know what? I'll be back. Right? You've got to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
That's very, very important. And just knowing this, Sarah, as an adult, just knowing this knowledge, like you said before, knowledge is power. Highs are going to feel higher.
Yeah.
And lows are going to feel lower. So if
Yeah.
you're feeling those lows and they're a lot lower, take a breath. Remind yourself, this is someone who loves me. They don't want me to be upset. They're giving me feedback. And let's connect through this.
Yeah, I hope when people hear this, if they can relate to it, that they feel a sense of relief, like it's not your fault. It's not your fault that you're feeling this really low. It's just part of how you're wired right now. And focusing on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that. And so let's talk quickly about strategies for time blindness and executive functioning.
All right, strategies for time blindness.
Use alarms. Oh my gosh. Use alarms, use reminders.
Yeah.
All of that. Use any of the apps that you like and talk to other friends. Talk to other parents whose kids have ADHD and ask them, hey, what really works for you? Because number one, you're going to bond. You've got a kinship connection. If you're a parent of a child with ADHD and you can pick them out, right? You're going to gravitate towards each other and ask them, hey, what do you do that works?
Yeah.
Because you want to hear from them.
Yeah.
Y'all have common experiences.
Yeah.
So,
kitchen timers too. That's one thing I used with my ADHD kiddos. You got 5 minutes to finish that task. Here's the kitchen timer. Watch it, look at it. And when it would go off, then okay, we're all done, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's some really great ones out there.
Yeah, I'm sure there's much more.
Yeah. I think the key to time blindness is relying on external systems.
Yeah.
If you're an adult, you've got to find those external systems that work. If you're a parent of a child who has ADHD, you've got to create the external systems.
Yes.
You cannot expect them to do that for themselves.
Yeah.
That's a trap.
Yeah.
Big trap.
Because when they're really little, like 2, and you're like, come on, I told you we had to go. We had 5 minutes. They're just like, meltdown, tantrum, and then you're stressed already, and you're like, we got to go. They're having a tantrum. So that kitchen timer saved a lot of tantrums.
And you've got to warn them. Hey, in 5 minutes, we're going to be doing this. And then give them a choice. Do you want to go in 5 minutes or 8 minutes? Make sure it's something that works for you, because that actually helps increase self-esteem when you give them a choice.
Yeah, it does.
Really, really big.
Yeah. Well, they have some skin in the game, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to take it a little bit more seriously when that timer goes off, because they've chosen the 5 minutes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. What's the next strategy for time blindness?
The next strategy for time blindness, actually, that's all I got.
Okay.
Breaking down tasks, doing all that. But the biggest thing for me for time blindness is these external strategies. If you're an adult, use them. If you're a parent of a child, you've got to create them for your child.
Okay.
And everybody's different. Find something that works for you.
Find something that works for you.
Ask your friends. Read all these articles on attitudemag.com.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. And they have free webinars.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So if you sign up for a webinar, it's free. And if you have to miss it, they'll send you the recording.
Are the webinars short, so they're ADHD friendly?
They're not always short.
Okay.
They're not always short.
All right.
They are good.
Okay.
They are really good. Okay, let's talk about strategies for executive functioning.
Okay, let's hear it.
Routines, visual reminders, checklist, and this is one of my favorite, accountability partners. Accountability partners are really big.
Is Sean your accountability partner?
In every way. In every way. And he really loves me for me, and I get that now. I think early on, you know, I'd always say, what do you love about me? Right? Because words of affirmation are one of my big love languages. And he'd say, I love your passion, which is fantastic. And sometimes my passion also can be annoying as an adult with ADHD.
I have never
Right.
felt annoyed by you.
Thank you. When that amygdala comes online, I'm like, well, I'm just passionate. And I'm yelling and doing this because the highs are really high.
Okay.
Or the lows are really low, which means defensiveness comes out in a big way. Right?
Yeah.
And ADHD people can sometimes take that out on the people that they love.
Yeah.
All under the guise of, I'm passionate, but really, they got their feelings hurt. So they're highly defensive.
Okay.
And then that comes out in an unhealthy way unless you're trained.
So as an accountability partner and a mother of ADHD kiddos, what can I do to help them with their executive functioning without being critical? Like, how do I, you know, how can I approach them without being critical? Because I don't want them to feel the rejection sensitivity.
Right. That is such a great question. And as counselors, you and I both know how powerful the amygdala is.
Yeah.
The amygdala is the part of our brain that's our fight, flight, or freeze.
Yeah.
So if you are ADHD and you are experiencing rejection sensitivity and you've got a low and you're feeling criticized, you better believe that amygdala is coming online. As you know, once that amygdala comes online, it's really, really hard to interact with. So as someone who loves a person with ADHD, the best thing that you can do is not engage in that moment.
Emotional timeout is what I like to call it.
Emotional timeout.
We're just going to take an emotional
Right.
timeout. It's not a
Or-
punishment. We're just going to let our emotions calm down.
Right. And you have to have boundaries.
Yeah.
Right. You can say, listen, I love you. I think right now is not the best time to talk. So I'm just going to take a moment. I love you. I'll be back. You want to throw in there, hey, I love you. I'll be back. I'm just going to go in the other room for a minute. Right. With kids, when you have young kids, you've got to keep them safe. So that's why you need that cozy corner. You need something with sensory items. You've got to have that for deregulation. Their nervous system needs that to deregulate. With an adult, it really is knowing, okay, I see this person I love and they're kind of spinning out. Do they need a hug? Sean does that with me now. Come here, babe.
Just give you a hug.
Gives me a big hug because that's me.
Which centers you and probably grounds you a bit.
Totally.
Right?
Totally.
And I mean, another factor to take into consideration, which I don't want to spend too much time on this though, is thinking about the brain development. Because the prefrontal cortex is not developed up until mid to late 20s.
That's right.
For most.
Fully.
And there's also a point in time where the amygdala is really, really powerful. Like teenage years, the amygdala is
All over.
all over, right? I mean, it's definitely one of the most like the primary part of the brain that's being used because your hormones, and so a lot of decisions and reactions are coming from the amygdala.
Yeah.
And so again, I don't want to spend too much time on that,
Well,
but that is something to think about.
And check out our episode on trauma.
Yeah.
Because we really go into the amygdala. And it's absolutely something to think about. And I'm so glad you asked about it. Because as an ADHD person, when you're in one of those times, a really high high or a really low low, you can go from a really high high when you're so excited about something and so happy, and someone goes, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Right? And so when you have someone in your life, you know, whether it's a child, you know, love on your children, especially the ones that are all over the place. Just recognize that. You know, just know how to walk alongside them, how to create safe spaces, how to be there and love them through that. Those routines are key. Less devices, less screen time is helpful, right? More sensory input, all of that. As an adult, if they need a hug, say, hey, babe, come here. Let me just give you a hug. Do you
Yeah.
want one? They may not want one.
Yeah.
But if they do, that's a really big thing.
Right. And those emotional timeouts are helpful too.
Big time.
Like, give them time to calm themselves down. Then you can come in when their prefrontal cortex is ready, or their logical executive functioning, whatever you want to call it, when they're ready to have a conversation. The emotions aren't high.
Oh, that's so good. Thank you for reminding. That's just a good tip. That's a hot tip.
Yeah.
For anything.
Hot tip.
Hot tip.
Love that.
It's so big. We cannot solve it in the moment of that. In the moment of the in the moment of the upset, you are not going to solve anything.
Yeah. That's just couples counseling right
couples
there, right?
counseling.
That's something that comes into
And
play with all
family
couples.
counseling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I'm about to go all over the place.
Yeah,
Parents, tell your kids, I love
let's-
you. I believe in you. You've got this. Let me rein it in.
Rein it
Let
in.
me rein it in. Okay, I do want to say this to our listeners because I love this. All right, here, hot tip to take away as a reminder. Shift the lens about ADHD. Go from shame to strengths. ADHD can be a superpower. Let's learn how to drive that race car.
Yeah.
Right? Of our brain. Go from disorder. You don't have a disorder. Your brain has different wiring. Go from isolation to community, coaching, therapy, ADHD training. Sometimes parents
Tutors.
don't want to tutors, thank you. Sometimes parents don't want to share.
Yeah.
Or their kid doesn't get invited somewhere, or they don't want their kid to go because they broke a toy the last time they were there, or the parent was like, oh, I couldn't tolerate that.
Yeah.
And so you go from isolation, don't go into isolation. That's not helpful for many reasons. Find your community. Find your tribe.
Yeah.
Read, research, connect with other people who get it. Find that kinship connection as a parent for your kiddos who are going through this.
Yeah. And I think that's important for all parents across the board.
Yes,
Right?
I think so too. Yeah,
It takes a village.
totally. It takes a village.
Yeah.
Okay, a few resources for our listeners.
Yeah.
AttitudeMag.com.
Okay.
ADDITUDE mag.com. Totally
Oh,
love it.
okay.
My favorite book, changed my life, although it's an old one, Driven to Distraction and Delivered from Distraction by Hallowell. Changed my life 18 years ago. There's a great book for kids, My Brain is a Race Car. So cute. Uses rhymes, explains how a kid brain is.
Can I
ADHD.
jump in on that real quick?
Yes.
So my middle daughter, Adeline, is a competitive race car driver.
Ooh.
She was actually on Channel 2 News.
Oh,
She had-
love.
Anyways,
I saw that.
Yeah.
She was very cute.
She was so cute. Her ADHD is her superpower in race karting because she can focus, and she is one of the best race karters in this little region, whatever region we're in. I don't know. That's a Ron thing that he's much more involved in. I just watch with fear in the pit of my chest, but because she goes so fast.
Oh, wow.
I think she goes like
I didn't even
50,
know this was a thing until I
Yeah.
saw it on the news, until you sent it to me. I was so
Yes.
excited for her.
Yes, and it is something that she does amazing at because she has ADHD. So I love that there's a book called, what is it?
My Brain is a Race Car.
My Brain is a Race Car.
Yep. My Brain is a Race Car.
Because,
And I love it that she found her tribe, right? She found something that she felt good about. That's so important.
well, because competitive sports were no good for her
Right.
because she would get so frustrated with the other people, rejection sensitivity. I didn't
Right.
even know that was a thing.
It is.
And had I known then, knowledge is power. Had I known then, I probably would have pulled her away a little differently than going I'm a flawed human, and I definitely did not do amazing, I'm sure, handling her. But I wish I would have known that. So I hope that some parents hear this and they're like, oh, okay.
Parents, please check it out. Please check it out. You are not alone, actually. And if you want to have a community, if you go to our website, mentalhealthcounselinggroup.com, go to community and click on Parent Hearts.
Oh, yeah.
We have a free group that meets on the first and third Wednesdays of the month during the lunch hour at noon via Zoom, so go register for that. You can connect with other parents who have children with medical or neurodevelopmental differences. And it's creating that kinship connection that I was talking about. You are not alone. And it's really important to hear from other parents and connect with other parents. And check out that website. don't do the symptom, I mean, you can do the symptom checker. I always tell people, go read the articles, go look at the videos.
And this is for Parent Hearts or
No, this
for
is
the
for
Attitude Mag?
attitudemag.com on the website.
Got it.
Go read the articles. If they resonate, then you know you're in the right place.
Yeah.
It's good work.
Yeah.
And it is a superpower.
It really is.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
How does it feel to be a superhero?
How does it feel to be a superhero with your ADHD brain? You know what? I love what we do, and I love that our goal is just to share great information with people
I do too.
so that you do not feel alone. You are not alone. We want to connect with you.
Yeah.
We want to walk alongside you on
Yeah.
this journey of life.
And thanks for being vulnerable and sharing, because sometimes I think like I don't feel like we feel like this, but some people feel like they have to look like they have it all together, or act like they have it all together. And I appreciate you being vulnerable and sharing.
Yeah, absolutely.
That you forgot your wallet.
I totally forgot my wallet, lose my credit card. I'm
Lose your
better
credit
now.
card, you used to put it in your pocket and you lost it.
And I'm also 57,
Yeah.
and this is a real thing.
Yeah.
I don't have to care so much anymore.
Yeah. You know
When I was
what?
younger, I was much more embarrassed by it. When I was raising my kids and they were in elementary school, oh man, I was much more embarrassed by
Yeah.
it. And so I can own it a little bit differently now.
Well, I think it's so great you figured out different things to do to manage it, because that is so important. Because when I have people come into my space and they're like, oh, I think I want medication, it's like, that's a part of it, but you do have to figure out those things to manage it all. So
Absolutely.
I'm glad that you shared some tips and tricks.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for talking with me.
Of course, I love it.
I do too. I love being together every time.
Every time. Same time, same place. It may look a little different.
It might look a little different.
It may. We'll see. We'll see.
High five.
High five.
Yay, we did it.
We did it. Thanks for joining us on This Might Be Triggering. We hope today's episode helped you feel seen and reminded you that you're not alone. If something resonated, share it with a friend, leave a review, or reach out. We'd love to hear from you.
Stay connected with us at mentalhealthcounselinggroup.com or on Instagram at This Might Be Triggering.
And don't forget to follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode.
Keep empowering your wellness one self at a time.
And together we can change the world one relationship at a time.
This podcast is for educational purposes only. It is not therapy, does not create a therapeutic relationship, and should not replace professional mental health care. By listening, you agree not to use this podcast as medical or mental health advice or as a replacement for therapy. If you need support, please reach out to a licensed provider in your area. If you're in crisis, call or text 988 in the US or contact local emergency services.